everybody. I'm European Space Agency astronaut Luca Parmitano, and I'm speaking to you all the way from space, from the International Space Station in the Columbus Lab.
Okay, so the European Astro Pi competition is run by the ESA and the European Space Agency and the Raspberry Pi Foundation company in the UK. It's based on the Raspberry Pi based computer, and what it is there's two of those computers up on the International Space Station. They were sent up to the space station before Tim Peake's visit to the space station back in, I think it was 2017, 18. The competition's been running every year since, and we have students running those competitions. It runs right through the year, so it starts in September. It goes through a number of phases, so there's 4 phases. First phase is to come up with an idea, and the idea is a scientific experiment that you would like to run on the International Space Station.
One of the projects is where we use the sensors on the Raspberry Pis on the space station to see how fast the space station is going, and whether that changes, whether they have to do evasive moves to move out of the way of debris or stuff like that.
Okay, you get your idea in by October, towards the end of October, and then you have from end of October through to about March to actually code your solution.
Another one is where we use the camera to take pictures of Earth, which when we get the data back, I'll use image processing stuff and a bit of machine learning to see how much water there is in the picture, and whether there's clouds and forests and stuff like that.
Using the Raspberry Pi, you get given a little pack like this. If you're successful for phase 1, you get a Raspberry Pi sent out to you. Inside there you've got the Raspberry Pi, you've got the Astro Pi hat that sits on top of it with loads and loads of different sensors, magnometer, accelerometer, compasses, etc. And you can then write some code to test those out. Okay. By March, you submit your code solution, and you hopefully will get successful. You get through to phase 3, where in phase 3 they actually run your code. So code you've written will run on the International Space Station. So it runs outside of this world. It's fantastic. You're getting code, your own code, to run out of Earth. How amazing is that?
Another one is where we use one of the sensors to get the gravitational field strength, which we can use with orbital mechanics and find the mass of the Earth.
That's the Raspberry Pi module. It's actually a Raspberry Pi 3 that you will get. On the International Space Station, I think the Raspberry Pi 2, Model 2s though, so. If anyone's not seen a Raspberry Pi, that's what they look like, a little tiny miniature computer, just a little bit bigger than a credit card. Got onboard Ethernet on there, USB connections, HDMI to connect it to a screen. Okay, and then this is the module that sits on top. This is the Astro Pi module. Okay, so again, it's another little circuit board. So that effectively just sits on top of the Raspberry Pi like that, onto the header pin there, and then it's in a little grey box on the space station.
There are 2 different themes that you can choose from. With Life on Earth, Easy, which is this one here, will be looking at Earth from a window, and so she will help you investigate our beautiful planet Earth. And with Life in Space, Ed here will focus on investigating what's going on in space. Where are you guys going?
The last one is where we use a Pi that we've got on Earth to see what the conditions like on Earth, like humidity and gravity and all temperature and that, and pressure. And then you can use the information that you get from the space station to see how the conditions compare, to see what it's like for astronauts who are living up there.
And then this is a display, LED display, so you can actually present messages to the astronauts on board the space station. And make sure they're having a nice day, or they're working on some scientific projects. Okay, and that's the kit you get. Fantastic.
Anyway, the best experiments will be deployed, and teams will have the opportunity to analyze and report on their results.
And we've had 4 projects submitted this year, and we got all 4 of those projects through. to phase 3. So those projects will be run on the International Space Station. And then phase 4, we get the results data back that's returned to us, and we can actually do some further analysis and reporting on the data that's been sent back from space.
I'm enjoying this very much because I get to say my code is out of this world, and that's perfectly justified.
I can't wait to see your experiments up here on the space station, so good luck to everybody.